Hello, can you hear me?
This is Patty.
We'll begin in 1 minute. Call meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Good evening. Welcome to the January 12th session of your Brookings City Council. Ask City Clerk to record attendance.
Mayor and council members, as we are not in the same room this evening, when I call your name, please respond with present. Bacon?
Present.
Brink?
Present.
Collins?
Present.
Corbett?
Present.
Niemeyer?
Present.
Tilton Byrne?
Present.
Wendell?
Present.
Okay, thank you. First item, Council, is the consent agenda. To entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any public comment? Any council comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Brink?
Aye.
Collins?
Aye.
Corbett?
Aye.
Niemeyer?
Aye.
Tilton Byrne?
Aye.
Wendell?
Aye.
Bacon?
Aye.
Consent agenda is approved. There are no items removed from consent agenda, so open up for open forum at this time. And Mr. Johnson, it looks like you're just biting at the bit and gone all this time, and welcome back. And tell us what's going on with the students.
All right. Council, thank you very much for having me back. I am Zeb Johnson, the Government Affairs Chair for the SDSU Students Association. Tonight I have a couple updates for you. Brief. First, yesterday was the first day of classes for the new semester and the new year. Students are glad to be back on campus and in the Brookings community. Last night was our first Students Association meeting of the semester. As our tradition is to have Barry Dunn, President Dunn was present for our first meeting and gave his remarks and gave us the goal of being an in-person commencement and being here for the whole term. Put in a lot of work to be here until Thanksgiving, and now the new goal is to be here till May. And we look forward to partnering with the community and working through that again. Our Senate had our first readings of resolutions regarding community assistant work conditions and establishing the Premier Scholarship Fund as our Student Association primary legislative focus for this year's legislative session. And then finally, we have 3 vacancies for senator positions, and we'll be working to fill them in the upcoming weeks. That's all I have for tonight. Do you guys have any questions? Thank you very much. Good to be back.
That's not on the agenda for tonight. Okay, seeing nobody rush up here, we'll close the open forum, and I'm going to turn it over to our Human Resources Director, Susan Roeder.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, and audience. In the month of December, all of the city employees that had a longevity milestone in their career, and I'm here to show you their pictures and announce names and years of service. First off, we have Community Development, Jared Thomas with 5. In Engineering, Lana Schwartz with 10 years and Jackie Lanning with 30 years. Information Technology, we have Korku Ponyo, otherwise known as Kweku, for 5 years. Landfill Solid Waste, we have Brian Klingbeil, 10 years, and Jeremy Jansen, 5 years. The Library, Nita Gill for 10 years, and Betsy Lenning for 25 years. Liquor Store, Brian Hansen for 5 years. Parks, Recs, and Forestry and the Edgebrook Golf Course, Greg Rodinius for 5 years. Park, Recs, and Forestry, Park Technicians, Stephen Hartung, 5 years, and Paul Lelyman, 10 years. Park, Rest, and Forestry with the Shop Division, Mark Bren, 10 years, and Larry Mag, 10 years. With the police department, Drew Gary for 10 years and Joshua Snyder for 10 years, and not pictured is Luke DeYoung for 5 years and Jory Hart, 5 years. The police department reserves, Justin Bourne, 10 years, and Josh Mann, 10 years. Our volunteer firefighters are Rob Schooneman for 5 years, Lori Mergen for 5 years, Dalton Holm, 5 years, Kelvin Hilmo for 10 years, Jeremy Scott, 20 years, Dana Bruna, 20 years, and Kurt Teal, 30 years. With the street department, we have James Becker at 30 years and Eric Hansen at 5 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. You know, we're really blessed to have these great employees, and just Brookings is so fortunate. They're hardworking, and were you going to say that? Took your line?
Yeah,
off?
I was just going to
Go
say
ahead,
the
City
same thing, that we
Manager.
have a number of employees. All of our employees are truly dedicated. And this is just a great opportunity to show the tenure that we have within our organization. There's so many different employees. You know, hats off to our employee advisory group and HR and everyone who put this together. You know, during COVID this year, it's been such a challenging time, but what a great opportunity to showcase some of the great employees that we have that are committed to the community and the organization. So thank you, Susan, and thank you to all the employees as well.
Perfect opportunity. Okay, let's talk about contracts and change orders, and let's recognize one of those employees, City Engineer Jackie Lanning, with 30 years.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council, and audience at home. This item is a change order for the 20th Street South project. It's the final change order to close out this project. And this is the project between Main Avenue and Rio Grande Avenue. It included storm sewer, new street, underground utilities, and an 8-foot wide concrete shared use path. The final cost of the project was an increase of about $61,100 from the current contract amount. That change order was primarily due to the additional excavation, transfer material, and gravel needed to stabilize the subgrade and then maintenance of our detour routes. So the final change, or the final contract price of this project, $3.3 million, and staff recommends approval of this change order.
Okay, thank you. Council will entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any public comment? Seeing none, council comments? Bonnie, please call the roll.
Collins,
Yes.
Corbett,
Aye.
Niemeyer,
Aye.
Tilton Burn,
Aye.
Wendell,
Aye.
Bacon,
Aye.
Brink.
Aye.
Okay, Resolution 21-003 is approved. There are no first readings at this time, so we'll have public hearing and second reading. Ask City Clerk to introduce this topic.
Mayor, council members, and audience, we've got in front of us this evening an application for an on-off sale malt license. This is for Livermont Enterprises. Ryan Livermont is the owner. He will be doing business as Newman Convenience Store at 503 6th Street. Video lottery is not being requested at this time. If you approve this application, it will then be forwarded to the State Department of Revenue for final action and issuance of the license. All required documentation has been submitted for this. Staff recommends approval. Ryan is here this evening if you have any questions for him.
Okay, thank you. Well, this is where we open it up to public hearing. You're welcome to speak to it, or you can just stand by for questions if you'd like. Your choice. I'm guessing stand by. No, I mean, you don't have to speak to it. It's just if you want to stand by, but that's what I would do personally, but that's up to you, you know, so. All right, we'll close the public hearing. Council, entertain a motion to approve.
So moved. Second.
We'll make that motion in a second. Council comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Corbett,
Aye.
Niemeyer,
Aye.
Tilton Burn,
Aye.
Wendell,
Aye.
Bacon,
Aye.
Brink,
Aye.
Collins.
Aye.
Great, that's approved. Now, am I guessing you're going to keep this going and, no, I'm just joking, but that's been a mainstay there for a long, long time and great location, so thank you. And community development, Mike snuck up here while I was talking, so
Thank you, Mayor.
go ahead.
Council members, members of the audience. 025 is an ordinance rezoning 22 acres of property in the southwest portion of the community from a residence R1B single-family district to an R3 district, which is an apartment district. The applicant is proposing a single-family residential subdivision. The Planning Commission did vote 7-0 recommending approval, and the Development Review Team also recommended approval of this, and I would stand for any questions that you may have.
Any questions for Mr. Struck? Okay, open public hearing at this time. Anyone care to speak to this topic? Mr. Rounds, do you want to speak to it or stand by, or whichever you want to do, Keith?
My name is Keith Rounds, at Road. My wife and I are sole owners of the piece of property that we're asking you to rezone, and I'll answer any questions, and appreciate your opportunity, Mr. Mayor and Council.
Have any questions for Mr. Rounds? I know you're here at the last meeting speaking to it also, so. Okay, well, I don't see anybody, so council entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Take that as a motion. All right, Bonnie, please call the roll.
Niemeyer,
Aye.
Tilton Burn,
Aye.
Wendell,
Aye.
Bacon,
Aye.
Brink,
Aye.
Collins,
Aye.
Corbett.
Aye. Okay, Mr. Struck, you're on.
So the next item up for action is a preliminary plat for the property that you just acted on the rezoning for. And so this is a layout of the residential subdivision. To the right of the screen is 20th Street, and that would be to the north. To the south is undeveloped egg property. To the east of this particular property is the Valley View subdivision. This is approximately 84, 85 lots over 22 acres, so it's a density of about 3.86 units per acre. A little bit unique to this particular preliminary plat is on the east lots adjacent to the Valley View subdivision. They're proposing the single-family attached 0-foot side yard. What the developer is proposing is a little bit higher density to try and provide homeownership opportunities, and trying a product that isn't real prevalent within the community. And so they're taking a little bit of risk to try and do something like this. The street connectivity is sufficient for our subdivision standards. The lots meet the zoning requirements. The Planning Commission did recommend approval, and so did the Development Review Team, and I'd stand for any questions that you may have.
Yeah, since we last saw this on our agenda, I've seen more maybe resident concerns from like the Valley View neighborhood talking about the street connectivity for this plan, and specifically the question, why is there only one northbound egress onto 20th Street South instead of two roads going onto 20th Street the way Valley View is?
That's just really a developer's proposal. They do meet our connectivity requirements for providing access to the north, to the east, and then a future access to the south. Our subdivision requirements require a secondary access when you generate over, when you reach that 40 single-family lots. So it does meet our criteria. We don't require them to put in additional outlets to 20th Street.
I think for me personally, as long as I know it meets our standards for connectivity, that's fine. It was just a perception I wanted to bring up. And I think another question related to that was something about sidewalk access from one subdivision to another. Do you know if will that be part of that street there as well?
So sidewalks on residential lots are installed at the time that the house is constructed. I think the question maybe is more along 20th Street South. And that would be part of a future street project where we would envision extending that shared use path further west to the edge of city limits or to the edge of this development. But internally, there would be sidewalks on each individual lot, and it's Rapid Valley Street connects to Valley View, so there would be sidewalks on that would connect to the sidewalks in Valley View.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's have a motion to approve and then continuing.
So moved.
Second. Motion and second. Any public comment? Council, any other questions you might have? Please call the roll.
Tilton Burn,
Aye.
Wendell,
Aye.
Bacon,
Aye.
Brink,
Aye.
Collins,
Aye.
Corbett,
Aye.
Niemeyer.
Aye.
All right, this is approved. Moving on, Mr. Struck's going to talk about ordinance 20-0626.
Thank you, Mayor, council members, members of the audience. Conditional use for a major home occupation located at 1420 Lagueros Drive. The homeowner, the conditional use to establish a small-scale CNC machine and 3D printer within their home, primarily to do mail order type design services, and is looking at a small-scale operation and kind of wants to see where it goes from there, and it meets the criteria for a major home occupation. It doesn't exceed the certain square footage within the residential structure. The Planning Commission did review and recommended approval of this, as well as staff recommendation of the conditional use permit. And stand available for any questions that you may have.
Up any public comment on this? Seeing none. Council, let's entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, do we have any discussion on council? Okay, please call the roll.
Wendell,
Aye.
Bacon,
Aye.
Brink,
Aye.
Collins,
Aye.
Corbett,
Aye.
Niemeyer,
Aye.
Tilton Burn.
Aye.
Thanks, Mike. Next, let's talk about action on resolution 21-006. We'll have our CFO and our Park and Rec Director come up and tag team on this one or something.
Good evening. I'll wait for Dusty to.
Gave you the short one, Dusty.
Good evening. This resolution seeks authorization to execute a promissory note between the Friends of Baseball organization and the city of Brookings. The note's in the amount of $223,000, and it is to cover for the synthetic field turf installed as part of the Bob Sheldon upgrade project. The note has a maturity date of June 1st, 2021, and bears no interest. And it has no incremental financial impact to our current budget. Any questions on this?
Let's get a motion on the floor, and then any questions you might have. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion and a second. Any public questions or comments? This is a great opportunity to work with Friends of Baseball, and just kind of a good way to get things started with other organizations. So, council, any questions?
At a point of clarification, the resolution language in our packet says $233,000. Is it two? And do we need to?
It's 233,000.
33? Okay. I think, does the memo say, and I saw a different number someplace.
Yeah.
As long as the resolution's the right language, okay,
Yeah,
so the
yes.
resolution's got the right language.
Yeah,
Cool.
the memo's incorrect.
Thank
Sorry
you.
about that.
Any other questions? Any public comment? Okay, please call the roll.
Bacon,
Aye.
Brink,
Aye.
Collins,
Aye.
Corbett,
Aye.
Niemeyer,
Aye.
Tilton Burn,
Aye.
Wendell.
Aye.
Resolution 21-006 approved. Great idea. Okay, we're going to turn it over to the city manager for a COVID-19 update.
Thank you, Mayor, City Council members. Over the holiday season, all cases. I just reviewed the most recent data, and we are seeing some nice trending in the right direction. So hopefully, the residents of Brookings continue to do their part by wearing masks. Brookings currently does have 239 active cases, and there is one person using the COVID bed within the hospital system and 0 in ICU, which is great to see. Deaths due to COVID here in Brookings is at 31, and there have been 3,201 positive cases. Approximately 2,931 cases have recovered, and within Brookings County, 10,366 tests have occurred. Brookings 7-day average of positive is 38%, while South Dakota is at 34%. Once again, over the holiday season, since then to now, we've seen an increase in Brookings as opposed to what's happening across the state. Brookings County is still in substantial community spread, and as the state of South Dakota has 5,102 active cases, which is a decrease from my last reporting. There are 242 currently hospitalized, and the state has lost 1,585 South Dakotans. This is a loss of 474 lives since my last report in early December. The mask mandate for the community of Brookings for all indoor businesses and public places is still in effect until February 13th. Jake can go and progress to the next slide. Thank you. When Brookings is compared to the top 10 cities based on population in the state of South Dakota, we are now ranked the highest in the rate of cases in the state. Once again, this is over the holiday weekend, or a result, I would say, from the holiday weekend. Once again, things are starting to trend in the appropriate direction, just based on the data I saw today, and hopefully it continues. We are still, however, the lowest ranked rate of deaths in the state of the top 10 communities, which is a great place to be when it comes to this data. Approximately 2.8% of Brookings has been vaccinated to date, and 4.3% of South Dakota has been vaccinated. I would be remiss if I didn't also mention for the public that we are still accepting surveys, so we can understand how the community of Brookings wants to receive information when it comes to COVID, and of course that'll help us out in the weeks and months to come when we help the medical community disseminate information on vaccinations. To date, we have received 1,250 surveys. We are still accepting those surveys, I believe, until the 15th of January. So anyone who is interested in taking that can go to our website, cityofbrookings.org, or they can contact us directly at 697-8645, and we'll make sure and put out more information on that survey.
I was really happy to see the response rate. I was talking to Christina the other day, and she brought out the box with all those surveys. So that's wonderful. Also, a public thank you to you, Paul, and to Dr. Bonnie Specker for those daily updates we get. It's just fantastic. And instead of trying to read the state's site, it's right for Brookings. I appreciate that. So, questions, council, or?
Mayor Corbett, this
Yes.
is Patty.
Yep, Patty.
Paul, have you received any word from the state on a planned rollout? How South Dakota, and of course in our case Brookings, going to know when and how they're going to have access to the vaccine?
I know that information is constantly changing. I would encourage residents to look at the state of South Dakota website, the health department website. We have linked some of that information on our social media website and our website here. So encourage citizens to go to our cityofbrookings.org website or friend us on social media, and you can see what's currently known out there as far as the dates. It also depends on what the federal government's communicating with the state and their plans, and then ultimately how the state will communicate that with us. I am told currently we receive right around 30 or 40 vaccinations a day, and so we are asking for more. And if that's possible, then we can increase those vaccinations. But once again, it all depends on how fast that comes and trickles down to us here at the local level.
Thank you.
I did ask that question. I was told that they'd reach out to us and let us know, because I had the same question you have and probably the same time frame as you. So
What
anyway,
I can tell council is our marketing, the hospital marketing team, as well as economic development, CVB, chamber, the university, and other entities throughout the community every week. And so what we're trying to do is help the medical community roll out some of that information, because they are getting bombarded with those questions. People want to know when they can get in to get their vaccination. And so we're going to do whatever we can to help to get that information out. Once again, if people fill out that survey, we'll know how to reach them.
great. Any questions or comments? Well, let's look ahead to next two. 3 topics: an outside agency report. We'll talk about fireworks. And then Paul and the staff are going to report on future development for Brookings, which is the DRT's been working on. So pretty exciting night. Pretty interesting topics. Then looking ahead to the 26th, we introduce Jeremy Lindstad, the new street department manager, proclamation recognizing Ashley Ragsdall for the work with the public arts. First reading on a COVID ordinance, the COVID update, and of course, the one you can hardly wait for, the city progress report by the Assistant City Manager. I know he's already working on it, staying up late at night doing that, so. Anything else that coming up in future that we'd like to be visiting with or talk to? You know what's next. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
opposed, same sign. Good night.